Hello everyone, welcome back. And we are looking at making some homemade super pails. These are 5-gallon buckets, got at the local China Mart. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking a mylar bag that's designed for a 5-gallon bucket, putting it down inside of there, filling it full of beans, rice, beans, and then one bag we're going to be doing oats, and we have some other stuff that we may be putting in one of the buckets, but we're probably just going to be doing 3 of them today. We have 4 of these 2-pound 10-ounce containers of whole grain oats. One guy on the forum said just to go to the feed store and get like a bag of oats, but I decided to go ahead and just get them from the local China Mart. Went to Beaumont, Texas, went to a grocery store, picked up a couple of these 20-pound bags of pinto beans, and then we have 40 pounds of long grain enriched white rice we're going to be doing. Now when you're looking at buckets, there's some controversy about the food grade buckets. What you're looking for is the number 2 stamped on it right there. It'll be like a triangle with a 2 in it. But as long as the bucket's clean and you're using a mylar bag liner, then it's, some of the people say, so what if it's food grade? Then there's other people, like a buddy of mine, he says that even though the bucket may say food grade and it's stamped with a food grade logo, was it manufactured to food grade specifications? In other words, was the bucket manufactured in a sterile or as sterile as possible environment using food grade specifications, that if you were going to make the bucket for it to store food, then it should be manufactured in the same process that, say, the rules that a food worker has to use in a restaurant. So there's people that say you want to use only food grade buckets, and then some that say it doesn't matter. So whatever league or group you fall into, so be it. So what? Anyway, let's get started. What we have here is a mylar bag that was supposed to fit a 5-gallon bucket. My wife brought up an interesting topic, is that after you open the mylar bags, how are you going to reseal them? I went ahead and got the ones for this project. I went ahead and got the ones that are resealable, have the Ziploc seal on top of them, so that you will be able to seal the top of it with an iron, and then open it, and then be able to reseal the Ziploc whenever you get your food products out. So that you don't want to open it up and then allow stuff to get back in, even though it's going to be inside of a bucket. What we've done is we've taken the mylar bags and put them into the bucket. Then we have filled each mylar bag about halfway. This one here's got about half of that 20-pound bag of beans in it. This one here's got 1 bag of rice. This one here's got 2 the 2-pound containers of whole grain old-fashioned oats in it. I'm going to drop an oxygen absorber into it, and then fill it back up, finish filling it up, and then put another oxygen absorber in on top of it. That way an oxygen absorber is halfway down inside the food, inside the material, and then on top. We went ahead and put the mylar bags into the other 2 5-gallon buckets. Now we have half of a 5-gallon bucket of oats, 1 of rice, 1 of beans, pinto beans, and rice. What we have here is some 2,000 cc oxygen absorbers. We're going to take them out of the pack, drop 1 in, put in the rest of the material, lay the level on top of the bucket, then use an iron to seal the very top of the bag. And we're going to push the bag down in the bucket, get as much air out as we can, and then drop the last oxygen absorber in, push it down, get as much air out as we can, seal it up with a Ziploc, and then seal it with the iron. Oxygen absorbers have been dropped in on top of the material, right there in the middle. Now it's time to finish filling them up and get them sealed. The bags have been sealed with an iron. Rice has been written on top, and whenever I go to put the lid on the bucket, I'm going to include a piece of paper with the description, price, date, year, when it was sealed. And what time is it? Hang on. It is 5:35. We're going to come back in here, say in an hour or so. I think I bought mylar bags that were too tall for the buckets. These things said they were 2 to 5 gallon bucket size. I was expecting them to be a lot shorter. These are like 6 to 7 gallon bucket size. These things are huge. So we'll just have to see how the oxygen absorbers do. I'll put 2000 cc oxygen absorbers, so it should be 4000 cc. So we'll just have to come back in a little bit and check on them, see how they're doing. I guess they put an extra oxygen absorber in there. Instead of 10, there were 11. I had one left over, so I sealed up a gallon mylar bag full of Bisquick. I've heard Bisquick doesn't do real well sealed up, but just have to wait and see. I got it sealed up anyway. Something about it contains baking soda or something. I'm going to have to go back on the thread, the form, and read the exact information. But something about it breaks down over time faster than what the flour does. So one guy said it's better to store the ingredients to make quick rising, what is it, baking soda and something else, and flour. But anyway, details. There's a gallon bag full of Bisquick. We'll have to see how that turns out. We're now 24, 25, 26, 20, about 27 hours. About 27 hours past when the buckets were sealed. The oats have pulled down real good. The bag of rice. Still feels like it's got a little bit of atmosphere in it. This bag I screwed up on. We'll get to that in just a minute. This one here, beans, seem to pull in real good. I probably could have got more beans in there, but all I had was 40 pounds, so that's like 10 pounds per. Had 40 pounds, so that's like 20 pounds per 5 gallon bucket. What happened was I was cutting a bag of the beans, the knife went too far, slashed this bag. So I had, instead of sealing it up here, I had to seal it down here with the iron, and it turned out to be a mess. Still got a whole lot of air in there. I'm probably just going to take that, open it up, and dump all those beans into individual 1 gallon bags like this. A 96 ounce 6 pound box of Bisquick will fit perfectly into one of these 1 gallon mylar bags. I had an extra 2000 cc oxygen absorber, put it down in the middle, sealed the bag with a Ziploc, and then sealed it with an iron, and that has turned out real nice. I'm real happy with that. I'm happier with how the 1 gallon bags turned out than I was with the way that the 5 gallon bags turned out. I'm probably going to focus more on, say, getting some 2 gallon bags and putting those inside the mylar buckets instead of trying to get some actual, say, 3 to 5 gallon bucket bags. These bags were supposed to be for 3.5, 4, and 5 gallon buckets, but they're just way too big. They're too. I don't feel comfortable using these size bags. I don't even know if I'm going to keep them in the buckets. I'm just not happy with the way they turned out. I may reorder some 2 gallon bags, a little bit bigger than this one, and redo all of them with 2 gallon and instead of 5 gallon. But anyway, there's my first 5 gallon trials or 5 gallon test with making homemade super pails. Just not real happy with the way they turned out. I probably did it wrong. So, I don't know, I'm probably just going to take at least that one there apart and redo it. happier with the 1 gallon bags. Alright guys and gals, that's it. I'll talk to you later.